If you grabbed our Amanita gummy sample or our Amanita 5-pack gummy offer, you may have a question of how do I use it and how do I take it? One of the first things I always recommend to people is when they receive this in the mail from us, I highly recommend that you put them in the freezer because they've been in transit and it may have been a little warm. It is okay if you see a little bit of it may have melted or it's just a residue because these are real gummies and we're not using all those preservatives that actually make them have a shelf life of 20 years. It's okay. Highly recommend freezing it because one of the things you can do is if you freeze it and when you open up the packet, you can actually peel that off and just have it. But 99.9% of the time, they won't melt. They won't completely melt. It's just leftover residue in the packet when we pack them. What you want to be thinking about is if you've grabbed the sample or even if you've grabbed the full pack and you're new to Amanita, here's how I'd recommend taking them. If I take one of these and if I take it at 10 o'clock in the day, it doesn't matter how amped up or wired I am, within about 20 to 30 minutes, this is what it feels like for me. A weighted blanket gets wrapped around me and I just want to go have a nap for about 20 to 30 minutes. But when I wake up, I feel focused, energized, and just tackle stuff to get stuff done, which is fantastic. That's not how I like to operate. I like to take the Amanita to relax and sleep. Depending how soon I'm going to bed is when I will take it. I usually take it about 1 hour before I'm going to bed. I'll take a full gummy and I'll feel that wave come on. I'll just relax. The muscle tension in my neck will just disappear and I'll just start to feel good. And then I'll fall into a deep sleep all night long. The advantage is I don't wake up with a hangover when I take these. I don't wake up with that melatonin grogginess or that fog. I wake up clear. I wake up refreshed. I wake up energized, ready to take on the day. So that's really good about the Amanita gummies, and they feel really good when you start taking them. If it's your first time taking them, I'd highly recommend starting with half a dose, or you're sensitive to a lot of stuff, start with 1/4 of a dose because you may not need to take a full gummy. I'm a big guy. As you can tell, I'm a big guy, and most people can benefit from, remember, this is a medicinal dose or a therapeutic dose. This is a therapeutic dose of the muscimol or the Amanita muscaria. And we've cleaned this. This is all produced in our lab out of California. The lab technicians balance the dose of the Amanita muscaria. They make sure it's all safe. They make sure there's no toxicity or nothing. They make sure there's nothing toxic in the Amanita, and then therefore we get this base residue. And remember, there's 50 milligrams, 50 milligrams of Amanita muscaria extract in each gummy. Plus, there is 5 milligrams of muscimol. Only muscimol that you won't get high, you won't see anything, you won't be tripping out with any of the Amanita gummies like psilocybin or any of those other magic mushrooms. This is just pure relaxer. I do have friends that will take the Amanita when they start the day. And they love the feeling because if they've got back pain, they've got issues, they've got sciatica, they've got all this type of stuff, they take it and they find it helps them muscle relax. One of the things it's hard to prove, but from a case study perspective, is that I feel that the mushroom works as an adaptogen, which means it gives your body what it needs. Most of the time, I'm running on lack of sleep because I'm always working, doing stuff, traveling, going to places. So sleep for me is usually one of the things I probably need most. And as a result, when I take the Amanita, I want to have a nap, I want to have something to eat, and then I can power through and I feel recharged. These are fantastic for sleep and recharge. Totally different from our energy gummies. Our energy gummies are our mushroom gummy that gives you all day energy and works totally differently to the Amanita. If you haven't tried Amanita muscaria before, it is safe to take in this form. I can't recommend going into the wild and picking Amanita, and you certainly don't want to be eating it raw, but we work from the over 3,000 citizen research studies that have been created on Amanita muscaria. We generate this in a lab in California. All of our products are tested, third-party verified, and we've got the documentation to support that. You get a consistent dose and a consistent experience in every single gummy. And that's what's really important, is that you get a consistent dose with every gummy. Find out what works for you. At the end of the day, if taking half a gummy works for you, if taking 1/4 a gummy works for you, if taking a full gummy works for you, you'll work that out. And that's why we have these in the packs. They are a smaller gummy. They're not a large gummy. They're not as big as our energy gummies. There is a massive size difference. but the potency in this gummy is what matters. Once you've taken it, reach out to our support team at help@bearremedy.net and let us know, how did it work for you? What did you feel? How did you find your body relax? How did your brain relax? How did you feel when you woke up the next day? How does it compare to other things you've been taking? How does it compare to melatonin or the other sleep aids that people have? And most people love this just because of how deep they sleep and how refreshed they wake up. And it's that energy they get from them being refreshed, which then moves them on to our other products. But I'm going to talk about an energy gummy, or I'm going to talk about our micro boosters in another video. This video is just all about our Amanita muscaria relax gummies. If you want these, if you haven't tried them, click the link below. And I just thank you for trying these and being a user of these, because your commitment to this product allows us to do better and provide you with the best possible products on the market. That's why I'm doing this. I'm Ben, founder and CEO of Bear Remedy. See you in the next video.